In this video, we will learn the concepts of psychology and educational psychology. You must have heard about psychology many a times. It is a very common term and a very common subject. It has been gaining popularity, especially nowadays, because of its wide applicability in our daily walks of life. Now, back then, psychology, before the establishment of psychology as a discipline, as an independent discipline, it was known as the study of mind. Now, this study of mind, it was covered under a separate branch of philosophy, which was also called as mental philosophy. Now, from here, we come to know that psychology, it has originated from the branch of philosophy, and it is therefore also called as the legitimate child of philosophy because it originated from the branch of philosophy. Looking into the word psychology, it is derived from two Greek words, psyche and logos. We will come to the meaning of psyche. First, let us look at the meaning of logos. Logos, it means rational discourse of a study. So when we say rational discourse, it means that we use our reason and logic in thinking to solve a particular problem or any problem. Coming to the meaning of psyche, it has been evolving through different stages. We have 4 stages, we will learn that. In the first stage, psychology was known as the study of soul. Now, the study of soul was rejected because it is something vague and mysterious. It is something which we cannot observe, which we cannot see with our naked eyes. In order to study something, we will have to be able to observe it, be able to touch it, be able to see it. All right. Therefore, psychology as the study of soul was rejected. Now, in the second stage, psychology was known as the study of mind. Now, psychology as the study of mind is also vague and mysterious, just like the soul. Therefore, it was rejected. In the third stage, psychology was known as the study of consciousness. Now, psychology as the study of consciousness, this initiative was taken out by famous psychologists. They are William James, Wilhelm Wundt, and Edward Bradford. Now, the study of consciousness, it used the method of introspection. That means that an individual will observe his mental and emotional process. He will observe himself within. One individual cannot observe another individual. It used the method of introspection. The problem in introspection is that it is too subjective. Another problem of a psychology as a study of consciousness is that it does not cover the subconscious and unconscious state of mind. It was too limited because it only covered the consciousness, the conscious state of mind. Therefore, psychology as a study of consciousness was not accepted. In the fourth stage, the word study was replaced by science. Therefore, on those 3 stages, we have been saying study of soul, study of mind, study of consciousness. But now in the 4th stage, the word study was replaced by science. Another change in the 4th stage is that consciousness was replaced with total behavior, which means that now psychology is known as the science of human behavior. Now, later in 1913, J.B. Watson, he defined psychology as the science of behavior of both human as well as animal behavior. So, it is not only limited to the science of human behavior, but as well as human and animal behavior. Now, when I say behavior, what does it mean? What is behavior? According to Woodward 1948, any manifestation of life is activity, and behavior is a collective name for all these activities. Now, the term behavior, it includes not only the motor abilities or cognitive okay, like walking, swimming, dancing. It also includes the cognitive activities like thinking, reasoning, imagining, all right, and effective activities like feeling happy, sad, angry, etc. So behavior are all these activities. Behavior include the cognitive activities, the cognitive activities, as well as the affective activities. Now, behavior also includes all segments of human minds. They are the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and unconscious mind. One of the things that we should remember is that psychology, it is not a perfect science like the natural sciences, because it deals with the behavior of organism. Now, taking the example of human, our behavior, we keep on changing, we are dynamics. Even our personality itself, it is dynamic, it keeps on changing with the exposures that we get. With time, our personality changes. Therefore, like the natural sciences, psychology cannot be said as a perfect science, because it is a behavioral science, as it deals with human behavior, which keeps on changing with times and with the influence of environment. Now that we know the meaning of psychology, let us learn the meaning of educational psychology. So before that, we know that there are different branches of psychology. Say for like we have abnormal psychology, animal psychology, clinical psychology, child psychology, genetic psychology, experimental psychology, and so on. Now, educational psychology is also one of the branch of psychology. So when I say that educational psychology is a branch of psychology, it means that it applies the knowledge of psychology into the field of education. So education psychology is the application of psychological principles and technique to human behavior in educational situation. So what does it mean? It means the application of psychological principles and techniques to study the human behavior in educational institution, in educational setting. So who are these humans in educational setting? They are students, teachers, non-teaching faculties, all right? So any individuals who work in an educational institutions. So in simple words, educational psychology, it means the application of the knowledge, the principles and technique of psychology into the field of education. And it will study all the human, okay, it will study the behavior of all the human who are working in educational institution. Coming to the nature of educational psychology, the first thing we have to remember is that it is an applied branch of psychology. And another important point we have to remember is that it is limited to the study of human behavior in educational setting. And the third is that it is not a normative science, as it is not concerned with values of education or what ought to be, but it is a positive science. The fourth nature of educational psychology is that it is not a perfect science. As I have said, it is not a perfect science. It is not like natural sciences, because humans, we are unpredictable. We are dynamics. We keep on changing. Unlike the natural sciences, educational psychology, it is applied behavioral science. Therefore, it cannot claim objectivity, exactness, and validity. One example is that the process of photosynthesis. It will remain the same no matter what with time. Whereas we human beings, we keep on changing. One time you may be a very introverted person, but with your experiences and exposure, you might become an extroverted person. Our personality is like that. It is dynamic. It keeps on changing. That is just one example, right? Another nature of educational psychology is that it employs scientific methods and it adopts scientific approach to study human behavior. So that is all in this video on the meaning of psychology and educational psychology. Thank you so much for watching.